Hi guys, welcome back to DX Radio Shop. Okay, so we have to shed some light onto all of this. And the reason why is because you need to hear what's being said in the video by this place, who is not even a shop, it's a place. Okay? And I want you to listen to everything he's got to say. And then we're going to go through and we're going to talk about it. So it's going to be roughly 12 minutes long. Maybe a little, well, it won't be that much. It'll be just a little, it should be a little less as far as what he's got going on, because we kind of wrote down the time frame we want you to focus on anyways. The whole thing is a bunch of and that's pretty much all he does. And again, we've said this before, we've proved this again. And again, this video is not to bash. This video is to educate, because the information that's being given out by places like this, who clearly has no certifications, no degree, no licenses, no knowledge, only just surfaced within the last 3.5 years ago, and still doesn't know how to use the equipment or explain anything in detail, okay? He doesn't know anything to do with formulas, nothing whatsoever, but he'll sit here and try to tell you this is the way it is. And people who say this, all these naysayers, are completely 100% wrong. Well, let's dive into it. First, like, share, subscribe as always, thumbs up, hit the join button, guys, and get yourself an opportunity to win a brand new radio. We got several radios we'll be giving away for free come Christmas Eve, so please hit that join button. Our goal is to hit 50. Okay, and on top of this, so let's talk about what we're going to hear in this video, what we're going to see. The first thing is going to be talking about how he says NPC is not supposed to be called that, it's actually PPE. Well, they're all the same thing. It's a swing kit, period. I've posted that onto my community post. Check it out. It's a good information to read, and you'll be able to see for yourself, okay? It's all right there, and it's all fact-checked. And so here at DX Radio Shop, we only give you 100% true facts. We don't give you anything that's going to sugarcoat nothing. We don't believe in that. This is why places like Lithgow and a few others just can't help themselves, and they can't take it, because they don't like the fact that good techs like me, who are real reputable, and we have a huge paper trail to prove our degree and everything else in our hobby here, so our business. And we've been in this for over 40 years in this hobby. Okay, so here's where we're going to start, guys. The video goes on about, or begins rather, because of the RF and how he can do 1.5 watt and no more than 5 watt max, because you're going to damage your radio. All this nonsense. Every radio this guy produces is completely false information. Check it out for yourself. That's all I can tell you. Do your homework, because clearly this one does not do his homework. So as you go through the video, you're going to see the waveforms. They are pinching, clipping, flat topping, and he even says, yeah, you don't want none of that, but it's clearly right there in front of him. He totally ignores that and dismisses it because he doesn't know what he's doing. He likes to copy videos. Later through the video, you're going to see and hear about TalkBack. Well, let me enlighten you about TalkBack. He talks about how he's the only one who's able to show everybody how your TalkBack goes down your coax line. And that is completely 100% false. Okay? TalkBack has nothing to do with your signal going down a coaxial cable line. And you can Google that and fact check it till your heart beats faster, slower, whatever, till you're blue in the face. Okay? So he is completely wrong. And I have to show this video because people are asking, is this true? I didn't know you could see your signal going down through your TalkBack. And I had to re-educate them. No, it is not true. TalkBack's got nothing to do at all what goes out your coax line. You're going to hear the contradictions out of him because he uses between internal speaker to external speaker. You can hear the difference of his voice. It sounds like he's got a plugged nose with the internal speaker. When he goes to the external speaker, it's more clear, more bassy. Your audio is not going to change like that down the coax line. Therefore, proves TalkBack has nothing to do with your coax line. Okay, let's dive right into this, and then we'll pick it up from here. Okay, here we go.
What she's doing on the scope. Now, there are some people out there, the naysayers, say that you can't do this enhancement and have the radio come out clean, but they're wrong. They're 100% wrong. So let's just give you a 1.5 watt dead key on low. okay? And there's your signal on.
I have to point this out right quickly. Look at the spectrum analyzer. If that was a 1.5 watt dead key, it sure as heck would not be just about peeking to the top of the spectrum. He doesn't even have his settings correct on that at all. Listen to what he says. Here we go.
On the low side.
The pinching and the flat. You can see the flats.
So normally, Adam, start off with that 1.5 watt dead key, a graticule, a division above and below the center line. Okay, so you.
It's called gradual, not graticule. It's called gradual.
2-division carrier. 100% modulation would be 1 division up and 1 division down.
And that's false.
We've got it coming in about 3/4 of a division above that. So we're looking at about a 5 to 1, 5.5 to 1 ratio on that. So definitely got just a little bit more punch to it. I like to say that it makes the radio a little more robust. Okay.
Okay, so let's talk about that for a moment. There is no such thing. He just said 5 to 1 or 5.5 to 1, right? No such thing can you do to that ratio. Okay, let's think about this, guys. You have an SWR. Let me use that for a quick analogy. You have an SWR. Your SWR theoretically would be 1 to 1 point, or 1.1 to 1, right? That's a perfect match. Or 1.2 to 1, or 1.3 to 1, or 1.5 to 1, or 1.7 to 1. That's how you'd figure this out, right? As far as where your SWR would be. You would not say, oh, it's a 7.1 to 1, or it's a 3.1 to 1, and have a good SWR. It doesn't work that way, right? So, in the same sense, when you have a ratio, you have to be able to calculate and divide into that ratio. What does this mean? Well, if you have a 5 to 1 ratio, and let's say you have a 100 watt radio, then you would have to take that 5 to 1, which means your 1 divided by your 100 watt output would be your low carrier setting, theoretically. So, if that is the case, well, what number are you going to get when you take 100 divided by 1? What are you going to get? You can't get a different number. It's going to be itself. So you're going to have 100 watt, which means you got to set the radio. If it's a 100 watt radio, you'd have to set that to 100 watt dead key low, which would be impossible. Okay? Are you following? So now, the proper solution to this, if you understood real technical stuff and you understood the formulas, which is what they teach you just on basic electronics, clearly this guy has none. Okay? When you have a ratio set, it would be a 1 to 5 ratio, not a 5 to 1 ratio. It'd be a 1 to 5 ratio. Now you can divide your 5 into your 100 and you get 20. Now you've set your low carrier to a 20 watt dead key if that's where you want it to go, which is still too high. I would not do. So I would use more of a whole lot lesser unit. I'd be like more of a 6 to ratio, it'd be a 1 to 6 ratio. And I drop that down for my high point, not my low point. The idea is to run 2 watts low and no more 7 to 10 on the high. That's where the ideal place to be. Now, I will show you the instructions and exactly what it says to do. He's claiming you cannot go over 5 watts, okay? Now, let's listen in, guys. Educate yourself.
And they come out very, very nice, okay? So we'll just show you what she's doing for power. We've got you, like I said, a 1.5 watt on low and a 5 watt on high, okay? So, wait a minute, I guess I didn't show you. Just want to be sure to show you because some of these so-called NPC, some people call it NPC, it's really a positive peak expansion is what it's called, okay?
Swing kit.
They only show you that 1.5 watt and what it's doing at the 1.5 watt, okay? Because it gets kind of gnarly when you get up there in the higher dead key range. But so we've got this one set up on high for a 5 watt dead key, okay? So that's going to be your 5 watt dead key. We'll just bring that down to the 2 division, okay? And show you with a tone what it's doing on the 5 watt, okay? And as explained in videos past, as you go up in the
flat top, pinch. Spurious emissions, distorted, maxed up to the top. Complete distortion.
In the dead keys on the high side, you have to crush that audio down a little bit to prevent from saturating the finals, which would be, for those that don't know, which would be where you start the flat top on your peaks, okay? So that's so you want to prevent that. So that 5 watts is about the max you can go without flat topping. But again, we're getting some pretty decent wattage readings out of it, even though we all know that the watt meter is not the most important thing. What you just saw, that it's nice and clean, is the most important thing. Good, clean.
Okay, you hear all that, guys? Nice and clean. Good, clean signal. Everything you just saw on his spectrum analyzer and his oscilloscope is opposite. It's 100% distorted, dirty, not a clean signal at all. Keep that in mind. Now, I would like to show you something right quickly here. And I need you to understand this because he just told you the maximum wattage, right? All that nonsense. Okay, I want you to read something here. Right there. Okay. So I'm going to read it to you. Key transmit adjusts for 8 watts, but do not exceed to prevent overheat from your finals and your regulators, right? 8 watts. He just said 5 watts maximum. He doesn't read instructions. He has no clue what he's doing inside of a radio. This guy's radio is going to fail. So let's bump this up here for a moment. We want to go to, let's see, 558. Yeah, right to here, which is, okay. So here's where we're going to get into the talkback. Now you understand the RF. He's all completely wrong on all of that. Here we go.
We'll show you what the talkback's doing. Right now, we're on the internal speaker on the radio, just to show you what the feedback level is. And again, we're just using a stock microphone. So if you're going to use your 198, let's say, which is what comes with this radio, you're going to be in real good shape. And I'll show you. Okay, so there's a talkback with the internal speaker on the radio. We'll throw in some echo in there just so you can hear that. Hello, break, audio check, 1, 2. Okay, and you got to just about stuff the microphone into the radio for it to feed back. Okay, so we'll go and show you what she's doing with the external speaker. Okay, that's an external speaker right there. That's a big, huge improvement over the talkback that comes stock with this radio, okay? And we'll give you some echo in there so you can hear that. Hello, audio check, 1, 2, 1, 2, break. Okay, so sounding really, really good, okay? Talk back off, echo off. Now, just want to show you the clarity of how it's going to sound coming out over the air. Now, this is not going to be a 100% indicator on how loud and robust the radio is going to be. This is just showing you the clarity of the signal going through the coax, okay? This is what we're...
Did you hear that? Did you hear what he just said? Okay, listen.
Monitoring right now. We're monitoring the signal going through the coax. This is not a bench radio or anything like that, okay? And just to be clear on that, I'm going to, well, it doesn't matter. Somebody had mentioned it the other day that this box right here, my switch box, is how I'm doing that. That is...
You see the jacks in the back? Those are banana jacks, which causes stray. Okay, they're not shielded. You should be using a BNC connector. Do your Google search, you'll find out. That might help you if you can read. Do your Google search and you'll find out BNC is a lot better and more appropriate to use when it comes to bench test and for audio signals, RF signals.
It's an absolute lie. That is absolutely not the way it's done. And matter of fact, I'll show you that after I show you this and we get into the other microphone. I will show you that the other microphone, you can still hear the signal coming through the coax. Has nothing to do with this box. Nothing.
Okay, you hear that? Okay, number one, the box does one thing. It injects a signal to your mic input so you don't have to key a microphone, and it frees up your hands while making adjustments internally to the radio for alignment procedures. That's what the audio box does. You would take a signal, 1 kilohertz signal tone with a 30% modulation tone, and you inject that into your mic jack. That is it. There's no other purpose for it besides to avoid you having to sit there and say audio, break, and sound like a lunatic, okay? You can also use a BK1040, which he will discuss in here, and says that they pretty much are junk is what he claims, because he doesn't know how to use it. He has one, he don't know how to use it. I know he has one because I sold him most of his test equipment 3.5 years ago, and when I had to walk away after a while because he just was not learning. He's a snip, clip, spread, and put your swing kit in and get the quick dollar. That's what he's after. So this is where you are at when you listen to these guys. Now, I want you to understand this. Ready? Here we go. Let's read together, guys. No. Talkback has nothing to do with your signal going down a coax cable. Did he just say yes it does? We're monitoring what it actually comes down. How are you going to hear it down the coax line? What you're going to hear on the airway? He is completely 100% debunked and wrong. Okay? Talkback on a CB radio. What is the purpose? Which we actually did a pop quiz for everybody on my community post. Check it out here on the channel. And we also did a follow-up with that as well as to the definition and the meaning of this. Now, purpose. It's a feature that allows you to hear your own voice through your radio's internal speaker while you are transmitting. That doesn't mean transmitting on the air. You could be in a dummy load. You could have no antenna connected whatsoever. You're on a dummy load. All this does is creates a feedback loop so you can hear yourself. That means it serves only two purposes. One, to set your echo and your reverb if you desire to want to run an echo mic or have a board installed or the radio's already got one from factory, to set that to what you like, okay? So you can hear it. So if someone says, man, you got too much echo, you can adjust it to the liking of what you like to hear the sound. So that's where your feedback loop comes in for Talkback. Now, the other purpose is, let's say someone says, man, you're just not getting out, I can't hear you. Okay. But then you're going to argue and say, well, my Talkback's working. Yes, you can. No. Talkback serves the only purpose to tell you that your audio circuit is working. Now, if you're not getting out, then either A, you got a high SWR, deflecting your power back, losing your performance, reducing your output, or B, you have a RF final problem in the transmit strip, which means a driver, a final, something along those lines could be bad, or an AM regulator, voltage regulator of some sort, okay? But you've got something as a different problem in your radio causing you not to get out because the other person, they can't hear you, that you're not getting out, they got no signal on you. Okay, so your Talkback's got nothing to do with it. Okay, Talkback has absolutely nothing to do with it. Let's say your radio does not have Talkback, but you got PA. Just about every CB out there has PA. You can plug your PA mode into an external speaker, and if you hear yourself, then that tells you your audio circuit's working. There's another formality way of testing the audio circuit. Instead of having to be a part swapper, pulling the audio chip out, pulling caps out. Okay, now you understand more as to how the Talkback works. Nothing to do with any signal going down your coaxial line. If this were true, which is completely false, then the person would hear your voice change whether you're on internal or you're on external. Okay? So when he was on internal speaker, he sounded like his nose was plugged. When he's on an external speaker, he sounded more clear and more bassy. That's just the difference of you putting a different speaker on. So let's say with the internal speaker, okay, it's very tinty. Well, let me go buy myself a very expensive Bose speaker. Oh my God, the quality of that's going to be phenomenal. So it's like you having a stereo at home. Or like in your car. When you upgrade your speakers, you get better quality sound. Okay, that's all it is. So the talkback, you're not going to hear this over the airwaves. I'm not going to hear his voice on the airway and say, oh, hey, Kevin, yeah, you sound much better now. Your talkback's doing much better now. That talkback's got nothing to do with your RF power going out your coax cable line. 100% proven fact right now that, once again, this guy in New Hampshire doesn't have a damn clue what he's doing or talking about. Very, very, very sad. Now, I'm going to get into the audio box here in a moment. Let's continue with this so you get a better understanding of what more is happening here.
Whatsoever. Okay, so anyway. So we're just going to start with that on low. Adam, hello, audio, break, break, audio check, 1, 2. And then we'll up it to the high side. Hello, audio check, 1, 2, break, 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 audio.
Let me pause that for a moment. Why don't you see something? He's at a 2 for the carrier. He said it was a 1.5 watt carrier on his low. He's at a 2. So the reference isn't even set on the alignment. Now watch this.
Audio, break, break, audio check, 1, 2.
And he's got backward swing. You guys see that? Let me back this up a minute. Look at it.
Check, 1, 2. And then we'll up it to the high side. So we're just going to start with that on low. Adam, hello, audio, break, break, audio check, 1, 2.
Backward swing. What does that tell you guys? Which explains the distortion of his scope and spectrum analyzer. He don't know how to use. All right, here we go. High side. He did say 5 watt max, right? Watch.
And then we'll up it to the high side.
He's at a 3. There's your 1, your 3, your 5, your 7, your 9, up to the berry patch. He's at a 3. That needle should be registering at a 5 before you speak to the microphone. That would reference a 5 watt carrier. If he's on a 1.5, this needle should be at a 1.5. There are 2 adjustments inside to make this happen between your high and your low settings. So you have an S meter adjustment at your final adjustment. So between low and high, he should have had this needle down here at a 1.5, and this needle now should be at the 5, which is right here. He's on a 3.
Hello, audio check, 1, 2, break, 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 audio check. Nice and clean. Okay, we'll throw in
So he's got forward swing there, but he's got reverse on low.
we'll throw in that echo in there so you can hear that. I'm going to bump it up a little bit just so you get a good hearing on what it sounds like coming through. So you're definitely probably going to set this a little lower than that, but that's with the echo on. Hello, breaker, breaker, breaker. Okay, and we'll shut the echo back off. And as you can hear, that is a nice, clean, crisp signal coming through there, okay?
That is very tinty and too much treble to it. It needs a little bit more bass. That is not a good, crisp, clear signal. It's very tinty. Very high frequency signal.
So anyway, what we'll do is we will remove the box, okay? I'm going to take the box because this is what a gentleman claimed in one of his videos the other day, is that this box is somehow a scamming way of showing people what a spanked radio sounds like and what good clean audio sounds like. So here's my box, okay? And all that box is used for, it's just a switching box. So it just eliminates going back and forth from microphone to signal generator, okay? I don't use an antiquated B&K antiquated signal generator where you put the microphone on top of the speaker and play it through.
Did you hear that? Antiquated B&K signal generator. Put your microphone on top. Number 1, he owns one of these pieces of equipment. It's called a BK 1040 Service Master. Number 2, it is not a signal generator at any means. Okay? It is not a signal generator at any means. He doesn't even know the test equipment, the functions, the features, or the characteristics of the test equipment. How do you send your radio to a place to get worked on if you don't even know what you're doing and you have no education on your own test equipment? That's like me taking my car to a mechanic, but he doesn't even know where the damn headlights are located. He's busy looking at the muffler for a blowing headlight bulb. That's pretty sick.
Come off a good quality signal generator. It's all fed through that box, so I don't have to be switching microphone to generator, microphone to generator.
Okay, so the purpose of doing that are for two reasons. One, to show you the difference. Two, if you don't have a mic plug put in for like an 8-pin or a 6-pin for different ones, opposed to the 6-pin Cobras versus your 6-pin RCIs, then use your BK tester. That's what it's designed to do. And again, go to my community post. I did show you the owner's manual and all the detail, what it's designed to do. And yes, they are 100% accurate, just as much as a regular signal generator. Now, he wants to talk about signal generators. Well, let's get involved with signal generators, shall we? Okay. A good signal generator, if you want to go down that rabbit hole, a good signal generator is going to be, let me get my camera here and I'll show you what a good signal generator is. You got to have money for good test equipment, guys. You just have to. That's a good signal generator right here. Okay, Roden Schwartz, very expensive, and it's not just a signal generator. You can do a lot with this thing, but yes, it's a signal generator. It's a very professional, high quality signal generator, not some type of functional generator in which what he uses he calls a signal generator. Okay, this is what we have to inject. If you see it, frequency, modulation percent, 1 kilohertz tone. Okay, that's an honest, true way of injecting your signal where it belongs, to the radio. Now, let's take and go back and we'll listen to more of the fantasy world here.
I can do it all with the box, okay? So the switch on the box gives me, for my signal generator, dead key, and then I turn on my signal generator and send the signal through. And then, while I'm working on the radio, I can just use the microphone, okay? That's all that box is for. So, if you ever saw the video that this gentleman did, again, he's lying, and which is his MO. That's all he does is lie, anyway.
The MO. The MO. You know, when you try to correct something, you've got to have facts. You've got to have proof. You've got to have evidence to back up who's doing the lying. My great-grandmother always said there's always two stories in a situation, but only one of them is going to hold true to the power. And she'd always say to us, okay, I heard both stories, but someone's not telling the truth. And she'd always dig right down that rabbit hole, and she'd pull right down, oh, I got you. You're the one not telling the truth. And she was always smart about that. So, anyway, taught very valuable lessons as we grew up, for sure. And same thing right here. So Kevin Lithgow, once again, claims everybody's liars. Everybody doesn't know what they're doing. He's the only one, and he said in his videos multiple times, and other videos as well, he's the only one who knows how to show you what's going down the coax line and has proven it. He hasn't proven anything. I just showed you on my phone. Google it yourself. Does talkback have any effect on signal going down coax line? And the answer is no. So Kevin Lithgow lied about the talkback. He doesn't know what he's talking about. He lies about his swing kit. Doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. He calls it good, clean signal. It is not. Everything that comes out of his mouth is 100% proven, and it has been proven since the day he started 3.5 years ago, as every single video has been nothing besides complete trash, garbage signal on the test equipment. That is very sad, because I'd like to see somebody progress in the right direction, not sit here like a Democrat and point fingers the other way, which is what he does, okay? And that's exactly what he does. He's a lefty that just points fingers at everybody else. He's wrong. He's 100% wrong. He don't know what he's talking about. His MO is always lying. Why is it that every video that I do shows 100% fact with evidence, and I can back it up 100%? And I have. I've backed it up, 1,000% on every single video. Why is that? Why is it that I show you the sky's blue, the moon's white, the grass is green, but you argue until everybody knows. Why is that? Because when you're a pathological liar, that's all you're good for. And that's exactly what Kevin is. He doesn't get it. He just does not get it. And he won't get it. He'll never get it, because that's why I had to walk away when I tried teaching him. 7 shops told him no. I was the eighth shop he called. The 8th one. And I'm the only one in this country, probably in the world, who's willing to teach anybody if they want to learn. But I teach you with facts, and I teach you with legitimacy, and you can back that up anywhere you want, and you're going to find out it's all true. Because I had to show you the true way to do it. If I don't, that would make me a hypocrite like Kevin, and I would never go down and stoop to his level to become that kind of person, a cockroach under a rock, stealing people's money. We don't do that here. We would never have, and we never will. So here we go.
So let's just, we're going to hook up the 198, okay? And just to show you. Hello, hello. So you can still hear the signal coming through the coax. Just plain as day. Hello, breaker, breaker, breaker.
Remember, talkback does not go through coax. Another lie.
There's the microphone right there, hooked to the radio. Audio check, and the box is out of the picture, okay? So hello, audio check, 1 2 1 2. Audio check. So there you have it. Nice generally set up with a decent, real decent talkback. We'll do the talkback with the 198. Hello, hello, hello. Breaker, breaker, breaker. Audio check. 1 2 1 2. So that's coming in really nice. We'll do it on.
Now, if that's the way it sounded, and let's say it was coming down the coax line, it's very distorted. Just point that out.
Listen, on the internal speaker on the radio. Hello, audio check, 1 2 1 2.
Now very tinty.
No feedback whatsoever with this microphone, okay? So I think you're gonna make out really, really well with that setup. You probably radio and up the radio wrong, so where he's lying, but
there you go.
Off the radio through the coax. I guess he seemed to think I was claims that box was used so you could hear what's coming out of the radio through the coax. I guess he seemed to think I was doing something with the microphone or something like that. Well, he has no clue what he's talking about, obviously, because he's 100% wrong. So,
okay, I'm 100% wrong, but I just proved to you 100% he's wrong. So you take it for what it's worth, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. I'm just here to point out the facts, to correct his misleading, misguiding, deceptive information, and correct it to you with the correct knowledge and correct information that you can view and verify everywhere across the web, and ask any real technician and they will tell you the same. Okay? So once again, SLC Kevin Lithgow has completely obliviated himself yet again. It's embarrassing to see people like him continue to produce videos like this. It's pathetic. It is pathetic. Because a lot of people are getting concerned, and a lot of people are getting confused and upset, and they're not sure what to believe.